Hey everyone, my name's Chad Barron, and I want to show you something that I think is really cool. One thing that I hear quite often is that, business owners struggle with creating marketing that actually gets results. That they're frustrated because they spend their marketing dollars on yellow pages or sponsorships and different things, radio advertising, and they're just not seeing a real return on that investment, but they're not really sure where else they can turn. And we live in an amazing time where we have access to some amazing tools, and I think that they're not being taken advantage of quite as much as they could be. Right now, I am here on the Audience Insights in Facebook, and this is an amazing tool that we have access to. Anybody has access to this Audience Insights, and if you want to create some advertising, some marketing that really gets results, this is the place to start. And let me show you why. So within here, we can start taking a look at demographics and what types of things people in our potential audience like, and create an audience, a very targeted audience of the people who are likely to engage with our products or services. And let me show you how. So right now we have the demographics of everybody on Facebook here. So there's more than 1 billion people in this audience, but we want to narrow it down. And so let's take a fictional company, for example. So if you are a local small medium business, you can come in here and start putting in some criteria that will help to narrow down an audience that is likely to really bring you some results. And so, for an example, I'm gonna say that we are going to build an audience for an orthodontist. So I'm in Bellingham, Washington. So I'm going to start with the location, since most people visiting an orthodontist are going to do so in their local area. They're not going to drive real far for that. So we'll start with Bellingham. Now let's say there's a couple of surrounding communities, so we'll add them in too, because people are not opposed to necessarily driving from one of these communities, or perhaps you have a satellite office in one of these communities. So we'll add them in, and now we see that with Bellingham, Ferndale, and Linden, we have 100,000 people, 100 to 150,000 people in this particular audience. We can start seeing 57% of them are women, 43% men, 49% are married. Now, this is still pretty broad. It's a pretty broad range of ages, and not necessarily all who we want to target. If we tried targeting all of them, we'd waste a lot of money. So how would we want to narrow this down? Well, if I'm an orthodontist, I imagine that a big portion of the clients are school-age kids, and so we really probably want to target the parents of those school-age kids. So one of the things that we can do, we could scroll down here, and here's a way to segment parents. So let's say we only want parents of children between 6 and 18 years old. So I'm going to fill in these boxes. Now, one thing you'll notice when I check the box, we lose the information here. That's because the audience is now too small, because I've only checked one box. What I need to do is check a couple more, and the audience will be large enough that we'll be able to get some insights here. So now we see that we have narrowed it down. We now have a pretty good idea of the ages and the percentage of people on Facebook here within these ages. Also, we see that our audience is now down to 3,500 to 4,000 people. We can also see that 75% of them are married. Now, in this particular example, we wouldn't necessarily want to single out the relationship status, but maybe you are have a product that would make sense. Also, maybe it's mostly women that make appointments for their kids, and so we could potentially just single out advertising to women, so we'd get all the men out of there, and now we have 2,000 to 2,500 people in our audience that we're going to directly market to. Let's put the men, actually put everyone back in there, and I wanted to show you a couple other things that may not necessarily be relevant to this example, but we do get some other information. We can see the types of pages that these people really like, what pages they are interested in, the categories, and so this gives us a lot of information about the people that we're targeting in our audience as well. So this could potentially give you some good ideas depending on what it is that you are marketing. We can also look at the activity. So how likely is our audience to engage with our advertising? We can see this is one that I like to look at right here, and it says that this is ads clicked, and so of the selected audience, the median number of ads clicked in the last 30 days is 19. Of all the people on Facebook, the median number is 16. So we have an audience that is more likely than most people on Facebook to interact with ads. Posts liked is quite a bit higher at 21 versus 13. So we have an audience that is fairly likely to engage. So that's promising too. You can also see, when it comes time to running our ads, that desktop only 3%. So that's not a huge number. Most people in our audience are going to be looking at using Facebook on both desktop and mobile, and some mobile only. So when we're segmenting and creating our ads, we'll want to keep that in mind as well. So a lot of really great insights, a lot of great information, and just a powerful tool for directly marketing to the people who potentially want your services. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you see the power of this and just the awesome capabilities we have for marketing today.